Alright, let's continue our horrible case. Alright, we had no idea what to contradict the gumshoe on. Right, I remember. I was freaking completely stuck here last time. Oh, okay. Found during a body search of Maggie. That bad? No, he said we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. The bottle of poison bears Maggie's fingerprints found in her apron pocket. Found during body search of Maggie. So that all makes a lot of sense. Coffee contained potassium cyanide covered in victims and Maggie's fingerprints. Yeah, that bad? There was nothing missing. Are we sure about this? Accounted for. Yeah. Those two are accounted for. There was another lottery ticket. Oh yeah, restaurant owner took whole dollar with it. It was just $1, detective. No one cares when it's that little except for Gumshoe. So he's going to hand down his verdict. Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with. And we can't find any contradictions if he doesn't give us something. Yeah, that's true. But Maggie and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber. Our only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious. Come on, Gumshoe, be the dumbest you've ever been. Okay, well, that doesn't help me. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. Okay, well, if she passed out from the shock, why is there blood on her apron? Thought about that? Correct. The only thing is this. He didn't have any. Are you saying that it was stolen then? No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet. 58 cents. Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal. The victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man. Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here. That I don't like. Then we have this. Found out who he was pretty quick. Wait a sec, let me paraphrase. Yep, you don't have any ID. How did you find out? Oh, that. Prescription bag on the victim's table along with a lottery ticket. Seems Mr. Glenn Elg visited his doctor before he went to Tres Bien. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court. That's it, no comment. Not about the points, that was it, there was nothing else missing. Oh, I don't know what to do, man. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. Victim didn't have any identification on him. I was trounced and McLean found guilty. Left by the victim. Doodle is in the victim's handwriting. And that doesn't matter. Okay, what about the newspaper? Is this one? Maybe it is the newspaper. And I tried with this last time, right? It just didn't work. The victim didn't have any identification on. Maybe it's like the victim himself was a programmer, never seen him before. No. Was a programmer? How about that? Nope. Okay. We're gonna keep trying. Something will work. John's debt is big. Convictions for theft. She had passed out. Bro. Anything new here? I don't think so. Scary old man was there. Same old man, but dispatch, he still made a fuss. Seeds, he caught them with his teeth. The old man was only the customer who took his time finding a payphone apparently, so he was late reporting the crime. Poor Maggie had passed out. How long? 2:40, she was still out cold. Another 10 minutes. I had to be on the scene myself. Yeah, romantic shit. So I'm red right now. Okay. No identification. Figured out he was quick. Was searched. But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, is it possible someone planted evidence? Hey, yeah, you nailed it. It happens to me all the time. Blah blah blah. Very positive news. Come to the testimony, and you will end up. The shoes will end up down your throat. Sorry. So right. Some evidence. Okay. Oh, we don't need to save. It's already a save here. What I can do though is say that look at this guy. He's a thief. No. Well, when did you find this thing when you searched her? Waitress at Trembia. Does that contradict something? There's nothing contradicting here, bro. Blueprints. Photo of the scene near the kitchen. Does this have something bad on it? Oh, I'm so dumb. The photo doesn't have the medicine on it. That's it, right? No? He said there's medicine next to him. This one? Brother, look at this photo. I don't see any medicine. I don't see a prescription bag. Obviously, it was stolen. That doesn't work. You find the coffee stain. This is proof that he has motive to steal it. No. He's a thief. Bro, I don't know what the hell you want from me. I don't know what the hell they want from me. What is this? A recipe for turnabout part 2. I'm gonna look it up. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. For turnabout. Gumshoe. Gumshoe questioning. Gumshoe's testimony, the incident. Yep. How do the police figure out prescription bag? Enter the court record. Oh my god. Come on. Come on. The prescription bag was empty. That's the testimony. Bullshit, this is horrible. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There is just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally. I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Trebian. Where then did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal. Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Prescription. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison. And the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared? The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. That's true. Oh, order, order. Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that? Ha! That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? Glen bag. Oh. New Ear Ortholargonical Clinic? Oh, ortholargonical? Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Coffee time? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound? Did he have carpal tunnel or something? The day before the incident, Mr. Elg found himself in a fight. Oh. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. The hell? He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is in very, very fine print. It seems Mr. Elg correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trebian. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. Arg. It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No. Nick. If you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. He's right. But I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? Well, whatever. Where is the cream though? What's the issue? Yeah. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trebian. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? Oh, very true, very true. But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. Objection! That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
Objection!
Objection. You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. Clam. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. Objection. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. Arg. That's enough. Mr. Gadot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Gadot? Um, I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater. Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. And that is something that bothers me. Yay, good job, Nick. The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Ha! I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. What the hell? Court is adjourned for recess. How many cups did he drink? Okay, that was stupid though. The prescription bag is empty. Come on. January 7, 11:03 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Phew, that was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. He did throw coffee at me. That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me. But he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right? It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life, bro. Gumshoe has no chance with her, I think, right now. But let's see. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. Oh great, I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. The next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile scene. I bet he's gonna be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know? Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending bird scenes. Going back in. January 7, 11:15 a.m. District Court, Defendant Courtroom Number 4. We're back. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Gadot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Hello, old man. He's got his seats with him. Name and occupation, if you don't mind. The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times too. We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Unemployed? Ha! Listen, young'un, how much call do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? Mono embroidery? That's what I do, or did, back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed, because we're in the US. Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he could embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Great. Not customer facing. Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javachino. You eating seeds? Seeds? What do you think these are? I see. So you saw everything that happened, Graham? Did I? Oh yes. Oh yes, I did. I saw it all. Then please, tell the court. We are all ears. Sure, sure. I'll tell you. I'll tell you every last detail. He's really getting into this. Well, let's break him apart. What I witnessed. Witness testimony. I mean, he's not the killer, but you know. The young man was reading the sports paper. Okay. The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. What the hell? The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Well, that's pretty bad testimony for me. Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as waitress. Ha! You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses. It's wireless and spectacles, I tell you. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Let's do it. What I witnessed. Cross-examination. Here we go. The young man was reading the sports paper, which I have. So you saw the victim then. You saw Mr. Glenn Elg. I wanted to know if Guston Braun retained his championship or not. So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question. There are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right? Yeah, where were you seated? So what if there are? You say that you could see the victim. That means you were sitting at a table on the other side of the restaurant, correct? Ha! I go to that place to drink Javachino. I don't go to sit. I don't remember which table I was sitting at. Mean you go there to eye the waitress. Great. Serving girl bought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's important. What? Mr. Kudo, that is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw? Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I. I see. My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving. Okay, he can't see. I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress. And I saw what the serving girl put into the Javachino as well. What? I bet I know what's coming up and something tells me I'm not going to like it. We gotta know though. Your Honor. Need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask that the witness and add what he knows about this to his testimony. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. White powder. It could be sugar. Did she really put that into the coffee? You doubt me, boy? She took some out of a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in. Small brown. Oh, that's okay. Couldn't she have been adding sugar? Sugar in a small brown bottle like that? Like that. Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? Ha! A bottle like this, perhaps? Oh, there it is. That's the one. That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume. So what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Pretty bad. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain and then collapsed. Again, that's bad. He took just one sip. You young'uns, you waste everything. Those Javachinos cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drunk every last drop, eaten the cup and then died. Congratulations, you have earned the title of battiest man to grace a courtroom. Great. So, it was an immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible. Oh yes, he slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the Javachino I had just drank turn sour in my stomach. Oh yes, I know that feeling. And the waitress, I presume she is... That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's the last press I can do. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is. Sorry? You can see all the way up to her, you know, great. She's practically naked in that uniform. Objection! That's an objection. So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just such a uniform, even me. Mr. Wright. Please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. Don't get all excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. Ha! There are other things I recognize about her too. Seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Now keep pressing. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these are the features that you recognize about the defendant. I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. Come on, man. do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all, her face? Ha! As if I wouldn't remember that.
Objection!
The witness noticed the straps of the accused apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. Ask about the straps. Mr. Kudo, you seem especially interested in straps. Why is that? What? The ribbon in her hair, the straps on her apron. What's the fascination? Fascination?
Objection!
Objection. People have all kinds of fetishes, right? We don't need to embarrass the witness. Listen, you young upstarts, I haven't got some sick strap fetish. Okay. Is there any relevance to the witness's unusual love of straps, Mr. Wright? I was just curious as to why he was so fixated on the waitress's straps. Great. I said I haven't got a strap fetish. How many times do I have to repeat myself? Very well. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Kudo, and make it strapless. Great. Grumble, grumble. Do you think old CD really saw Maggie do it? Well, he probably had his eye on the waitress the whole time. That's why he was there. But he was there for the cute outfits, right? Not the waitress? You don't understand yet. I guess. He makes a good point though. Hey, did I just say something clever? I wonder if the waitress Mr. Kudo saw really was Maggie. That's what we have to figure out, Nick. Ribbon in her hair and a strap. Apron straps were loose. If apron straps are loose, that means they don't fit her properly, right? I don't know.
Objection!
Ask about the waitress's back, I guess. Oh, yes. The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
Objection. Ha! He's got you there, Gramps. Why object? People normally talk about facial features when they are asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment. I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. And if I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. Great, there wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Okay, so you don't know who the hell she is. Okay. You didn't find anything to be distinct, but you did clearly see the witness's face, yes? No question about it. I didn't come this far to back down now. Victor Kudo never backs down. That's not the answer I was looking for, but okay. This has turned into a matter of pride for old CD now, I guess. I wonder if he really did see Maggie's face or not. Like I thought, we need some concrete proof of this. Proof that the old guy didn't see the waitress clearly from the front. Do you think old CD really saw Maggie do it? He probably had his eye on the waitress. Waitress was really Maggie? We have to figure it out. Okay. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. Wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Interesting. Did you notice? I mean, the ribbon is red. This the girl you saw? Okay, I guess I was wrong. Oh, tomato ketchup. Did you see the ketchup on her? Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. Ha! That filthy thing would suit a filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot. Oh, got you. Got you. What? What is it? Ever since I said, you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron. Is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning? And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before, yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops. Witness. You can't just oops your way out of this. Ha! Well, well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Coffee time? Listen, Wright, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird? Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. Doubt it? I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what burger a customer wanted. He can't remember. Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out. Very well. Let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. Oh. Witness testimony about the victim. He was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. Okay, the eyepiece. He had a newspaper in his right hand and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. Right, okay. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javachino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. Left hand, you mean. Okay. The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? He deserves it. I suppose, but it's what I do best. He deserves it, creepy old man. Come on. About the victim, cross-examination. Broken person, give me a second. Alright, he was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. So the visor, you mean? Spectacles? Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses was green, but the other was broken. Newfangled rubbish. That's why I remember him so well. He did have some kind of lens over his left eye. But I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses. He seems to have been wearing some rather modern looking shades. Perhaps I should take to wearing some and rival Mr. Godot's sharp appearance. We better come up with something sharp and quick. Guess I'll wait and see if I should challenge him about the spectacles. Yeah, that's fine. He had a newspaper in his right hand and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. Newspaper, you say, in the right hand. Sitting like that. That seems about right, and he'll be drinking with his left hand then, the coffee. Yeah. The newspaper was a sports paper, was it? That young hooligan, I nearly asked him, can't you even read without fidgeting? How was I supposed to be able to read the back page with all that rustling going on? I needed to find out if Gustin Braun retained his championship title. It was his paper, not yours. If you wanted to know so bad, why didn't you buy your own? Here's no money. What are you looking at me like that for? How dare you judge me? Ow, ow. Gustin Braun got beaten yesterday. By the way, anyway. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Hold it. The wireless. The decadent young rascal. In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless. Oh boy. And using an earpiece. It's selfish, that's what it is. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it. Was he that desperate to listen to the radio? What are you looking at me like that for? How dare you feel sorry for me? Ow, ow. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javachino. Hold it. You mean the waitress, who you only saw from behind, right? You're one of those, are you? You never let anything go, isn't that right? Maybe. What does it matter if I saw her from the front or behind? My eyes don't lie. Ow, ow. I'd better not push it until I've got some hard evidence. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. Hold it. His free hand? Yes. Which hand was that? Weren't you listening before, cloth ears? I said he was rustling the newspaper with his right hand, didn't I? If his free hand wasn't his right hand, then which hand was it, you moron? Ow, ow. Ha! Perhaps the great Mr. Wright has three hands. Sheesh, I was only asking. No need to gang up on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. That this old guy's memory has more holes than a slice of Swiss. I guess we just need to find a contradiction in his testimony somewhere. Huh? Anything will do, even the smallest detail. We just need one mistake and he's ours. Right, so the hand is newspaper and kept rustling. I'm sure it was in the right hand. I don't see the paper at all though in this case. Although how would he be reading the newspaper if it was in his right hand? Right, and the earpiece you were saying. Where was the medication applied? Is that updated? No. The right hand noisy brat kept rustling the pages. The young man is into the wireless, serving girl bought over the cappuccino. Little Bridget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. Newspaper in his right hand. Sports paper. But how could he? This is wrong. Bro, I'm doing so badly in this one. What the hell? The guy, his left eardrum ruptured on the day before the accident. Left eardrum was ruptured. Left eardrum. Left was the side towards him. How could he have seen? Left eardrum was ruptured, brother. Yeah, okay. Maybe it's one of those rehold it. Spectacles, dark glasses, newfangled rubbish, working shades, something sharp. Guess I'll wait, okay. Newspaper in his right hand, noisy bat kept rustling the pages. Sports paper, that young hooligan. I nearly asked him supposed to read. How dare you judge me? Ow, ow. Houston Brown got beaten yesterday. I mean, right here, we have a plan as well, don't we? Doesn't make sense. How are you reading it if it was in his right hand? Right hand. Right, his right hand would be towards the wall, not towards him. But whatever. Listening to the wireless, the record young rascal, one or the other. People listen to wireless. Oh boy, using an earpiece. How dare you feel sorry for me? Ow, ow. Serving girl bought over the cappuccino. You only saw from behind. You can't let anything go. Maybe, what does it matter? My eyes don't lie. Better not push until I have some hard evidence. Picked up the cup and took a sip. Free hand, yes, which hand was that? Right hand has to be left hand. Okay. Maybe the cup has something to do with it? I mean, it is turned that, but I guess that's just the handle, right? It may be because the handle is towards the, for the right hand, he said he was newspaper in the right hand. Aha, but what about the fact that... Oh, I am right. What the hell? Mr. Kudo, do you remember what we were told at the start of this testimony? Oh, it has to be there because he picked it up from the right, then only the lips to touch there, right? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory. I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you. Nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing a pigeon song. Well, better start. Care to tell us where this is going, right? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, again, which is not possible because he was trying to read it. If he's trying to read it, it has to be in his left hand, whatever. While drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. Ha! What is this? Kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim, you will notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yep. Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where the stain is, you will clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing a pigeon song. Ah, Mr. Kudo, I am afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he came from. Wait! Oh. If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony. That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question. I am a good law-abiding citizen, I am. That dead young hot pot and you spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault. Dead young hot pot? Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure, why not hear a little more? Mr. Cadot. But this is my 16th cup of coffee. So this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. He's eating the seeds. One more. Witness testimony. Left hand or right hand? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. But he had no eardrum, whatever. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. Okay, interesting. We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. You're done. You're done. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. HD, TV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth. It's true, he doesn't seem to be lying. And these are the facts in good old black and white. Great. Well, no, because his left eardrum was ruptured, so he could not have been listening on the left eardrum. In the left ear. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. So the victim was wearing an HMD. HD, TV, CD, DVD, what does it matter? It was none of them actually, but anyway. And you're sure that he was wearing the earpiece on the same side? No question, I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. Yeah, that's pretty obvious if you look at the floor plan. Only the left. From the opposite table, he'd only have a view of the side of the victim's head. He kept fiddling with it all the time. Hold it. It seems you kept an eye on Mr. Glenn Elg. He was getting on my nerves. Rustling that newspaper and fiddling with his earpiece all the time. And then he went and made all that fuss, dying from one sip of Javachino. I wanted to say to him, calm down, you young brat. Just looking at him made me suddenly speed up my seed eating. I could have choked. So I take it the victim was a walking ball of nervous energy. Alright. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup too. The earpiece you mentioned, which hand did the victim touch it with? You are one of those people, aren't you? You are the type that uses your left hand to get things out of your right pocket. Or fastens your left cuff with your right hand. And when the tour guide says on your right side you'll see the famous blah blah, you're the only one who deliberately looks left. Well, aren't you? No, I didn't mean... Obviously he used a hand on the same side of the body that the earpiece was in. Okay. Ow, ow, ow. So if he had the HMD on his left side, then it was his left hand, I guess. Okay. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. You seem very sure of yourself, Mr. Kudo. That's because I know what I saw, no matter what tricks you try to play on me. It looks like he really did see the guy picking the cup up with his left hand. This is a dead end. Well, Nick, what do you think? I think the guy's telling the truth. But even so, something's not quite right. Then chuck evidence at him until he breaks. But if he's not lying, there wouldn't be any contradictions in his testimony, right? But there is. Right here, there is a contradiction. Because he could have ruptured his eardrum. I could listen to anything on his left ear. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You are no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo. But the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Eh? Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear. Because he couldn't even hear in that ear. No. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pie. Pigeon. Pretty pigeon. He's singing the pigeon song. Order, order, order. This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot. smoking. A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. Captain, are you calling me a drip? Great. This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back down. I know I'm right. The lad drank his Jamachino with his left hand. Then the cup has been changed. Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup he held in his right hand and then switched to his left. No, not possible. He died in one sip. That's what the old man saw.
Objection!
No. Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee.
Objection!
What objection? Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. Slam. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. Elk drank the poisoned coffee. Like this.
Objection!
Objection. Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Right. Take that, you pompous old fool. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, you can't reach me from there. Great. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. What? Hold it? Old man? Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now. That's also wrong. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut until now. But there's something else the court should know. Oh. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark. Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun. Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the cappuccino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man. Great. That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet. Much, much quicker. I can't believe this is happening. Ha ha ha! You better get ready, youngster. I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? How many seeds has he got? Yeah. He's got to be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. He never runs out, apparently. The final showdown. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of myself, okay? We'll save here. I'll come back in the next one for the final showdown. See you then.